Good evening. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. Tonight, the BTL plan to acquire SpeedNet is brewing. We'll have the latest. And Minister Kareem Musa goes to court to have the Budna constitutional challenge struck out. 7 News was there. Plus, a police officer is remanded to prison tonight for the murder of a 19-year-old on Kikaker. Also, the Belizean and Guatemalan foreign minister met today in Benque. We'll take you there. Also, Jules Vasquez takes a hard look at the Prime Minister's rapidly changing take on the SpeedNet acquisition. He's gone from clueless observer to concerned advocate. These stories and much more are ahead on 7 News Tonight, so please stay tuned.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Hey, 06 para mañana.
89, 23.
16. Ya gané con el 10, con el 50 y con el 03.
Bolido ahora es más fácil. Ahora puedes jugar tu número de la suerte con DigiWallet. Regístrate y deposita para comenzar. Descarga la aplicación de Bolido y elige DigiWallet como tu método de pago y cobro.
¡Ya gané!
Cuando enviamos dinero.
Con Bolido gané.
Cuando hacemos recargas.
Do you feel crime in Belize is out of control? What if we could reduce the opportunities for crime by reducing dependence on what criminals want most? Cash. Imagine a Belize where anyone with a mobile phone could safely transfer digital money. Imagine the lives that could be saved. Modern banking and digital payments make this possible. But it won't happen unless the regulator makes these options affordable and available everywhere. But he refuses to do so. That's not leadership, Mr. Governor. That's arrogance.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
B-Bucks can be transferred to and from your B-Bucks accounts. It's fast, easy, and convenient.
Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
$80 million. That is what BTL is paying to buy a company they don't need.
They don't need redundant assets on SpeedNet.
Mr. Ashcroft wants to get rid of this. He's been wanting to get rid of it for some time.
$62 million goes to the Ashcroft Alliance.
The Prime Minister sees it as incumbent upon him.
$18 million goes to the Prime Minister's family. They get to cash out. And what do you get?
But now we're going to a monopoly.
No more choice. Higher rates, and even worse.
Political hacks appointed to the board, and they don't like what Jules said a morning, or they don't like what Moses said a morning. Cut the signal. Deprive the people the service. Cut the internet. Cut this, cut that. BTL run by a political board. This is a very chilling situation.
You have to object no and loudly.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We begin our newscast with one of our top stories this evening, where today BTL's executive leadership continued its frenzied weekend-long schedule of meetings to try and build public and corporate consensus behind the acquisition of SpeedNet. A board meeting was held this morning, and in the afternoon, the format shifted to a town hall style meeting for the company's 500 or so employees. That was not open to the press, but tonight we can report that plans are to push ahead at the board level and gain at least a provisional approval for the acquisition by early next week. This will likely require the support of 33% shareholder Social Security, that is, and its 3 directors. They have been consistently cautious and less than enthusiastic about the acquisition. So here's the state of play after the round of consultations by BTL executives. According to our sources, the opposition has rejected the pitch for acquisition and is planning a public protest. The NTUCB has not formed a final position yet, and this is expected this weekend. Sources tell us, though, that the Chamber of Commerce has asked for a presentation to its wider membership at a mixer. The Communication Workers Union will reportedly go to a poll of its membership to finalize its position. And Cabinet, well, according to a release, it will make its position public when BTL has concluded its round of consultations. But we pretty much already know what that position is because, not surprisingly, the Prime Minister came out yesterday publicly endorsing the acquisition. And this morning at the High Court, Minister of Immigration Karim Musa tried to put a new, tasty spin on it. Instead of monopoly, he called it an era of super competition. Here's more.
Switching questions, do you support the BTL acquisition of?
I'm sure you saw the press release from Cabinet that we will put out our formal position once the consultations have been done.
Sir, but 23 years ago, your father, Said Musa, introduced competition on the telecom sector. Is it retrograde to go back to a monopoly?
I don't see it as a monopoly, and I'll tell you why. I believe that we are entering into an era of super competition. When you look at Starlink, when you look at the type of resources that they're going to be coming with in terms of implementing their networks here in country and other potential networks from international sources, it's going to be super competition.
And the BTL acquisition of SpeedNet would also make the Briceño family super rich. With their 22% minority shareholding, they stand to collect just under $18 million from the sale. So, considering that the leader of the cabinet, John Briceño, stands to benefit so much, should he have recused himself from the cabinet meeting when the presentation was made? We know he didn't because he was there in the photos. Musa says that they did not see it as necessary.
Again, it's not the Prime Minister that owns the company, and the Prime Minister, as a matter of fact, even offered to recuse himself. But that did not stop us. We said, no, it isn't necessary, Prime Minister. That did not stop us from voicing our very candid questions that we had, concerns that we had. And so it did not have that type of impact. And so, like I said, he offered to recuse himself, but Cabinet did not feel that necessary.
And later on in the newscast, Jules Vasquez will take a closer look at the Prime Minister's changing public messaging on BTL over the last 6 years. And in other news tonight, a police constable is in jail on remand for murder and attempted murder. It comes months after a teenage boy was fatally stabbed on Kikaker after a nightclub altercation. Our very own Jo Marie Lanza tells us about today's arrest.
Almost 7 months after we saw this video of a stabbing incident which led to 19-year-old Kevin DePaz's death on Kikaker, a police constable has been charged for his murder. The DPP concluded that there is enough evidence to charge off-duty officer Lionel Urbina for murder and attempted murder on his friends, while another police officer is also expected to be charged for causing harm in that incident. For the families and friends of the 19-year-old U.S. citizen who was visiting his father in Belize, it is a vindication for an attack which they said from the start was murderous.
My son was a good kid. He didn't harm anybody. My son didn't even have a record. My son was an amazing kid. He was friendly with everybody. And a man took his life. My son didn't deserve to die like that.
And for the fellow victim, 18-year-old Julian Canul, who carries the evidence of the attempted murder on his neck, it will also be a relief to know that the perpetrator has been charged.
He and the next off-duty officer will run up behind Kevin DePaz, the one in a black shirt. Yeah, they want to run up behind Kevin DePaz, and when he end up, they stab Kevin DePaz in the chest, well, in the stomach. Then I had to fight the one in the pink, then he don't get stabbed by, he gets stabbed by one off-duty partner later. I see the motion when he stabbed Kevin in the stomach. That's why in a video you could see me jog myself, I try to defend myself, and like, cause that's just my instinct. So now, that when he sliced me on my neck, my hand.
So you're saying that you guys did not bring a knife. They brought the knife.
Yeah, we never had no knife and we...
Lionel Urbina has been remanded to prison for murder and attempted murder, while the other police officer is expected to be charged for assault later this week. Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
Urbina, who is a Cayo resident, was arraigned today on charges of murder, attempted murder, and use of deadly means of harm. That is 1 count of murder for Kevin De Paz, 19, and 2 counts of attempted murder for allegedly causing injuries to 25-year-old Nucian Allen and 18-year-old Julian Canol. Urbina was remanded until March 31st of 2026, when he will be provided with disclosure. Latest reports from court say that the other police officer who was supposed to be charged was released on orders from the DPP's office. And in another arrest update to a murder that had outraged the public, 1 man has been arrested and charged in connection to the double murder of Reynard Raymond Garbett and Robert Alexander Crawford. Jaleesa Roberts has this story.
It's been 41 days and police have made a major breakthrough in the brutal double murder of 2 Sarita's ice cream delivery men along the Hummingbird Highway. Today, police formally arrested and charged 49-year-old Harry Nathaniel Trapp, a Belizean mechanic of Santa Elena, with 2 counts of murder. The charges stem from the killing of 22-year-old Reynard Raymond Garbett and 43-year-old Robert Alexander Crawford, who were fatally shot on December 11, 2025 at mile 40 on the Hummingbird Highway. The 2 men were returning to Cayo after completing deliveries in Dangriga when they were attacked on an isolated stretch of road. The killings left the 2 families shattered, with Crawford having a final conversation with intention to renew his vows.
I know I made a mistake, but I will going to... I will going to renew my vows with you, my love. I love you. I love you. I tell him I love you too. I will be waiting for you.
Garbett had recently become a father, but when we spoke with his dad, he said that he had hoped whoever did this to his son would come forward.
This is rough. It's very rough. I pray that whoever did it will walk into the police station and say, I committed the crime on the Hummingbird Highway, I took the 2 lives, and give himself up, you know.
He didn't turn himself in, but police found him, and now Harry Trapp will be arraigned and remanded for a double murder. Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
Trapp is expected to go to court tomorrow. And we take a break now, but when we come back, we'll show you an outlaw stash found in a pickup truck in Guatemala. And Kareem Musa, Joseph Budna, is suing him for a violation of his constitutional rights. He went to the High Court today to have it struck out. Stay tuned for more news.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
After you have earned enough B-Bucks, you can spend them. Remember, B-Bucks is as good as cash. It's free money.
Shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
Do you feel crime in Belize is out of control? What if we could reduce the opportunities for crime by reducing dependence on what criminals want most? Cash. Imagine a Belize where anyone with a mobile phone could safely transfer digital money. Imagine the lives that could be saved. Modern banking and digital payments make this possible. But it won't happen unless the regulator makes these options affordable and available everywhere. But he refuses to do so. That's not leadership, Mr. Governor. That's arrogance.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westville Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality, locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Champion security, champion security, champion security. Yeah. Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah, over there, champion security. This is the place to be. What does sign say? Champion Security. Here at Champion Security, we provide quality service. You know why? Such as triology lock, fire alarm, IP camera system, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion Security. Make a go check out what they go on inside of Champion Security. Boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Handsome. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians, and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember, guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where your safe stay is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You want to rent it? That's not a problem. We got remote gate.
A safer Belize begins with all of us, and the Belize Police Department is taking bold steps to build that future together. The new 2025-2029 Crime Control and Crime Prevention Strategy is transforming policing from the ground up, reforming practices, rebuilding trust, and strengthening accountability. With investments in modern technology, upgraded infrastructure, and smart data-driven tools, officers will respond faster, work smarter, and endeavor to keep communities safer. This plan puts community partnership at its core. It will require more engagement, result in more transparency, and introduce new programs that support our youth, prevent violence, and promote second chances. From fighting gang violence and illegal firearms to confronting emerging threats like cybercrime, the BPD is building stronger, smarter, more specialized teams to protect every Belizean. And with enhanced training and leadership development, our officers are better prepared than ever to serve with integrity and professionalism. The Belize Police Department is rebuilding, reforming, and renewing its commitment to you. Together, we can create a safer, stronger Belize.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We've always said that BTL does not fear competition.
They promise that a monopoly will lower your bills. But do you remember the last time BTL was a monopoly?
I am tired of this increase of rate.
This is ridiculous. This is outrageous. It is time for us to stand up together and say enough is enough.
They're done with GOB. They promise a lot of things and they sell it out.
A monopoly that is neither legally bound nor apparently morally inclined to give in.
Lord Ashcroft, they feel like they could come and lord it over us and we have to stop this fool.
BTL is taking over $90 million in debt to buy Smart. They have to pay that back. And how do you think they will do it? By squeezing you. When there's only one phone company, only one cable provider, and only one internet option, what incentive do they have to charge you less?
The Prime Minister has personally called to persuade board members to support it.
You get the politicians you vote for.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
And continue our newscast with a story out of Guatemala. What was a Guatemalan man doing in San Luis Petén with a major stash of Belizean cash, as well as weapons, ammo, and masks? 29-year-old Gustavo Adolfo Baños Arellanos was detained by elements of the Guatemalan army at a routine checkpoint in the San Luis Petén area, which is 120 miles southwest of Benque Viejo. He was driving a Toyota Hilux without papers, and inside the soldiers found firearms, ammunition, and a large sum of cash. He had two 9mm pistols as well as a Beretta and a Glock, along with multiple high-capacity magazines, including two 33-round magazines, one 30-round magazine, and one 20-round magazine, and one 15-round magazine, in addition to face masks and approximately $37,000 cash in Belize dollars. As a result, Arellanos was detained by military personnel and subsequently handed over to officers of the National Civil Police in San Luis Petén. He has been charged with possession of illegal firearms and the irregular transfer of currency. Meanwhile, in other news, Joseph Budna, in September, his attorneys in Belize sued the government, the Commissioner of Police, the Minister of Home Affairs, and various police officers for violating his constitutional rights for his unlawful abduction. The suit asks the court to make a declaration that Budna was unlawfully arrested, tortured, denied assistance, kidnapped, and expelled from Belize to Guatemala. It also asks the court to order government to ensure Budna's return to Belize through legal and diplomatic means and hold an inquiry in his lawful extradition to Guatemala. It also asks for damages and costs. Well, today, a motion to strike out the suit was taken before Justice Martha Alexander at the High Court. He appeared with his attorney, Eamon Courtney, who outlined the various grounds which they are asking for a strikeout. Here's more.
The application is to strike out the case against Minister Musa, and broadly speaking on two bases. The Constitution of Belize says that if you have a constitutional claim or any civil claim against the state, the proper party as a defendant is the Attorney General and no other government functionary. And so as a matter of law, we said that the case is not properly conceived as against the minister. Secondly, there is a very long affidavit from Mr. Budna. I think it's 149 paragraphs long. And of that, there are about 10 paragraphs that allude, and I repeat, allude to Minister Musa. The fact is that there is no evidence that is before the court that in any way calls or provides evidence that Minister Musa was involved in whatever happened to Mr. Budna. And so we also submitted that as a matter of fact, there is no basis for the case to continue against Minister Musa. I think we made the point that this is a constitutional matter. It was filed from last year. We applied to strike it out, and they provided no evidence in answer to Mr. Musa's position that there is no case against him. And so we asked the judge to strike it out because there just really is no evidence against Minister Musa. You are alleging that someone kidnapped you. You are alleging that someone tortured you. You are alleging that someone breached about 4 international conventions. The person says, I will strike it out. And your answer is, don't strike it out. Later on, I will tell you the evidence. As I said to the judge, many things are said in the street. Street facts do not constitute evidence. And Mr. Budna should get his tackle in order and bring evidence if he has any. It is not a matter of saying, you breach my constitutional right. You must defend the case, but I'm not going to tell you now what my allegations against you are. That's a joke.
And another element which Courtney refers to as a joke is that fact that counsel for Budna, represented today by Arthur Saldivar, is playing what he characterized as games in court. Here's more.
He was saying that they have witnesses they can bring.
Do you believe him? I don't.
Yeah, that would be
very seriously.
interesting. I mean, it would have to be allegedly or supposedly
The point of the matter is this. You say I have a constitutional claim. My rights have been breached. I say you have made no allegation against my client. And your response is, on the day when that is going to be heard, I won't tell you who those witnesses are. But if you don't strike it out, I'm going to bring them. We're not playing hopscotch, we're not playing jacks. This is a serious matter. And we are in a court of law, and Mr. Budna must present his evidence now for the judge to determine whether or not to strike out the claim. That is the allegation that we made, that it should be struck out. You can't say, well, I have the evidence, but I'm not sure you. Well, the point of the matter is, I think Mr. Saldivar spoke the truth. For once.
And
the truth of the matter is that they want to go after the minister, well, I should say, go after Kareem.
And we don't know who the Kareem is definitively.
Talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, let's get serious.
And from Jabbar to a breach of international human rights conventions that apply when a citizen is kidnapped from his own country and sent to another. Courtney says it has to be brought against the state.
So all those international conventions that they refer to are between states. An individual may be protected by the convention. And if you're protected by the convention and you allege that your rights have somehow been trampled, you sue the state, and you present your evidence against the state. You can't present the evidence against a commissioner. You can't present it against a minister, because the commissioner and the minister are not parties to the convention. So the judicial body that will hear that only deals with claims against a state. To allege that a particular individual breached a convention that he's not a party to is, just completely misconceived. I don't know who those other individuals are. They have not contacted me, and I don't know who is representing them. But the Attorney General made 2 submissions. One, that the entire claim is struck out because of the defects, which are incurable in my opinion. And secondly, if you don't do that, then against 4 named defendants, it should be struck out. As to the others, I don't know what their position is.
Justice Alexander said a decision on the strikeout motion will be made soon. And returning now to one of our top stories, it's been 5 years since the foreign ministers of both Guatemala and Belize have met with the OAS at their office at the adjacency zone. But today, the special representative of the OAS's Secretary General presented their office's 2025 activities to foster bilateral relations and seek a peaceful resolution to the territorial dispute. It was also an opportunity for both foreign ministers to discuss recent incidents of Guatemalan aggression in Belizean territory. At a brief press conference held after the meeting, Minister Fonseca spoke more about the reason for the meeting.
We met today here at the OAS office, the adjacency zone office, at the request of the new special representative for the Secretary General of the OAS, Her Excellency Ambassador Orejoya. And both Belize and Guatemala, as you know, have worked through this office to advance our discussions on the confidence building measures and to advance our work as we move towards the final definitive determination of the claim against Belize. So the OAS office has played a very, very critical role throughout this process for the last 20 years. And today we met really to get a review and report on the ongoing work, ongoing activities, to look at what has taken place in 2025, and also to discuss the future role of the OAS office as we move towards a judgment from the International Court of Justice. So what will be the role, the post-ICJ role of the OAS office? So that was the main purpose of the meeting today, and I'm very glad that the distinguished Foreign Minister of Guatemala, His Excellency Carlos Ramiro Martinez, joined us, and we were able to talk about issues of mutual concern to both Belize and Guatemala, and to discuss meaningful ways in which the OAS office can continue to support our efforts to advance peace and stability between our two countries.
And while we know whenever there is tension in the Sarstoon or even in the Chicabol area, a diplomatic note is sent. But what happens after that is a mystery, especially concerning instructions passed down to the GAF from the Guatemalan government. So today, the media asked whether they gave any explanation for its military actions. Here's what they said in detail.
As you know, we have an ongoing dialogue at the political level between Belize and Guatemala. So it's an ongoing discussion, and in every meeting that we have at the bilateral level, or even today, we discuss these issues with a view to finding some mechanism, putting in place some mechanism, some structure that will allow us to ensure that tensions are reduced between our two countries, especially the two militaries, and that we are able to peacefully resolve any of these issues when they arise. So, for example, one of the issues we discussed today under the auspices of the OAS is how can we improve military-to-military engagements and communication and coordination between the militaries, because that is where, on the ground, we have to ensure that there are no mistakes made and that tensions are reduced on the ground. So those are things that we have always discussed between ourselves, and we will continue to dialogue on and discuss, because I believe we both agree that it is important that we reduce tensions and ensure that there is always peace and stability between our two countries.
But is Guatemala doing its part in reducing tensions near border points? The media asked their foreign minister what the country is doing to prevent military and even civilian aggression in Belizean territory.
Well, I believe a shared objective between the two countries is the reduction of tensions. And these tensions revolve around the incidents that the OAS office here is working on and doing a very good job of. We have tasks to complete, of course, internally, in coordination with our security forces, in addition to the coordination that exists between the two countries. I repeat, the objective is to reduce tensions throughout the adjacency zone and along the Sarstoon River. Also, in some instances, these incidents are unfortunately unavoidable, but Guatemala is committed to reducing them.
Pero la tarea en la que Guatemala está comprometido es en la reducción de esos incidentes.
But with all the meetings and confidence-building measures over the years, the Guatemalan Army is still making incursions into the Sarstoon, and Guatemalan civilians are still breaching the adjacency zone and creating settlements in Belize's side of the border. While the OAS is not responsible for the Sarstoon, we asked them whether enough is being done in order to prevent these incursions in the adjacency zone.
There is a zone, and the zone is there because of a reason, and it's precisely because you have communities from both countries, and there will always be incidents. And I think that if we think there won't be any incidents, it's something we would be lying if we said no, there won't be any more incidents. I think that what is important are two things. First of all, the commitment both countries have in when we have these incidents to give a solution to them pacifically, which is something really important among dialogue. And secondly, the role of the office. The office does verifications each time there is an incident which is being denounced by any of the parties. The office goes, verifies the incidents. And that is working. And what we have seen in the meeting today, and Sergio can give you some of the numbers on that, is that the office is much more effective than it used to be with the incidents. And in that sense, I think one can say it's never enough work, but I think a lot of work has been made. But I just want to underline the importance that both parties always seek for a pacific solution to all these incidents. And I think that is what we have to underline today.
In the case of the investigations that we carry out in the office, we see in the previous years an increase of incidents. We also increase our capacity to respond to that request from both parts. What we're doing this year or the last year is to encourage both countries to seek the dialogue on any incident that it will be a little bit harder to attend, also to increase the cooperation and with the armies and also with the diplomatic corps, because we're trying to ensure the peace in the region. And with the dialogue with the embassies and also with the ministries of foreign affairs of both sides, we also want to show them the reality of the agency zone. We see a lot of effort of the local authorities. We see the effort of the local leaders in some of the communities in the agency zone to maintain, to reduce the tensions, to have a great cooperation between the communities in Belize and Guatemala, and also the communication with us is very good. They see us as a friend. They see us as a good mediator between both countries, and we want to ensure the same thing for this 2026.
And the director explained more about how they've improved in their capacity to verify the reports they receive.
Technically, we invest, the last year we invest a certain amount of money in our technology. In the case of the measures that we made in the agency zone in every incident that we received the report, we reduced our margin error from 15 meters to just 2 centimeters. So we have the exactly coordinate where the incidents happens in the agency zone. With that, when we share the information to both countries in the same way, in the same information, and with the same data, they can make better decisions for the best interest for both countries and also for the best interest of the inhabitants of the agency zone.
What challenges you face when having to verify certain incidents and having to go, your agents having to go into the adjacency zone? What are some of the challenges or fears that you have when you're going out into the field?
Well, there are several challenges in the Gen zone. As you know, the first thing is weather. It's extremely hot, and the humidity is 100%. So it requires for us a great work, physical work in the area. The other things are the insecurity matters, like the increase of the narco traffic in the area. Sometimes there are more issues with the population. But my best way to see this is the best way to attend the incidents in the agency zone is our capacity of communication with the community leaders. Our best weapon to attend these tensions and these incidents is our capacity of dialogue with both communities. Because our team don't go to the field with an armor vest. We don't carry any kind of weapons. We don't go with the assistance of the militaries of both sides. We never accept the assistance of the militaries in our investigations, because it's better for us, and it's also better for the population in the communities in the agency zone.
And we take a break now, but when we come back, the police held their annual CompStat review of crime statistics today, but no media was invited. We'll have the numbers. And Prime Minister Briceño, is he both a beneficiary and an advocate for the SpeedNet acquisition? Jules Vasquez looks at his changing public messaging. Stay tuned for more news from your nation station, Channel 7.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
$18 million. That's how much the Briceño family stands to make from the sale of Smart to BTL.
What is the purpose for the acquisition? Simply to eliminate the competition.
Also, Belizeans get set back 20 years.
You had taxpayers of Belize paid hundreds of millions of dollars, all in the name of promoting competition. And now, with this move, we would be end up right back where we were with a monopoly.
But it's more than just a step back.
It's very nearly treason, because the deal was secretly orchestrated. The family of the Deputy Prime Minister and Michael Ashcroft appear to have been working together and against the government of Belize.
Over 20 years ago, the Briceños got a secret interconnection agreement from BTL. Now, BTL is going to spend $80 million to buy the company they helped grow.
Michael Ashcroft's cutthroat strategy.
You get the politicians you vote for.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We continue our newscast with a story of a robbery. A frightening robbery happened in Dangriga town this afternoon and was caught on a dash cam. It shows two men sitting inside a parked delivery truck near Heritage Bank on Ecumenical Drive at 3:15 p.m. Suddenly, the side man in the passenger seat observes something and starts crouching in his seat. Suddenly, a lone gunman appears wearing a mask and hat, and both men bolt out of the vehicle while the man grabs a backpack on the passenger side. We'll have more on this robbery as it becomes known. And now we turn our attention back to one of our top stories with the proposed acquisition of SpeedNet Smart, as we have been reporting it for months, and it puts the Prime Minister in a conflicted position. He appoints, that is, the supermajority of the BTL board members who have to decide on it, and the same for the PUC, which has to regulate it, and also the same for the cabinet, which is now being allowed to consider it. And the Prime Minister's family stands to benefit substantially from the sale. And perhaps that's why for months he stonewalled us about an acquisition that he must have known was being negotiated behind closed doors. Jules Vasquez looks at how his public message has changed over the months and years.
Sir, can you talk about this rumored sale of Smart to BTL? Is that the rumored sale of Smart to BTL, is that going through?
I don't know. You'll have to talk to people at BTL and the people at Smart.
SpeedNet, is that deal still live?
I think you need to talk to other people about that. I would not comment on that. I have nothing to do with that. And maybe you need to talk to Jaime. His number.
Sir, but he's your brother. You talk to him every day.
Can we have another question?
Is there a timeline for the BTL acquisition of SpeedNet?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the people at BTL.
Sir, but what would be the public explanation given, considering that it is sort of a conflict of interest with BTL and SpeedNet being owned by your family members?
So then why do you ask me that question? You feel that there's a conflict of interest. I have said already that I'm not involved with it. That has not come to us yet. I think that they're doing their, if anything's happening, they're doing their negotiations. And when that happens, when they have that negotiations are done, they report to us.
After months of stonewalling, professing ignorance, or feigning neutrality, the PM came out yesterday as a full-fledged advocate for the BTL acquisition of Smart, even when the cabinet he chairs professes to be undecided.
And also remember, taxpayers invested almost $700 million in the BTL. And if they do not make changes, it's going to crash. As it is right now, in their projections, without a consolidation, their growth is flatlining for the next 5 years.
And this advocate for the purchase, whose family will also be the beneficiaries, was once in quite recent memory an ardent critic of BTL.
BTL owes the government millions of dollars in taxes, millions of dollars in dividends. We have been propping up this company. This company also have to become more efficient and more effective and more driven by customer service. But maybe this is a wake-up call for BTL to get their act together. We know that BTL has become a white elephant. The monies that all of us have paid for BTL, it will never be paid back. But we need to do as best as we possibly can to work with BTL so that they also can change their mindset and to be more customer-driven.
And in that previous incarnation, when his family stood to benefit from it, the PM was also a staunch advocate for competition.
Not because they are a monopoly, or sorry, they are owned by the government, they can just go and charge anything to what they want, because then the private sector is going to leave them to. And that BTL needs to change its mentality from a monopoly to a mentality of a market where you have to compete and you have to provide good customer service.
At least we know what competition once meant to the PM, and now that the goalpost is slowly shifting, we know what to expect without it.
And following the cabinet coup, reports say that the BTL chairman is now pushing for a provisional approval of the acquisition by next week. And in every year, the press is invited to the Police CompStat presentation of statistics. It's an important level of public accountability because the crime numbers are a direct reflection of society's safety or lack of it. But this year, under the leadership of the new Commissioner of Police, Dr. Richard Rosado, the media was snubbed. No invite. Only the friction-free government press office was deemed worthy to attend. And not having to worry about defending his numbers to the press, the Compal in his speech was able to speak of the direction they seem to have in mind. Here's more.
Our direction is clear and unmistakable. We must advance towards a unified intelligence operating environment, one in which information flows seamlessly from the field to the analyst and the command, creating a comprehensive real-time understanding of public safety condition. In the near future, our Crime Fusion Center will incorporate advanced analytics, artificial intelligence, and fully integrated system to identify hidden patterns, anticipate emerging risks, and provide officers and commanders with the clarity needed to decisively act confidently. This is a true promise of the next generation of policing technology. It does not replace human judgment, it strengthens it. It does not merely record crime, it enables prevention. It transforms information into insights and insights into effective action, enhancing both officers' performance and community safety. The foundation laid in 2025 was one of structure, alignment, and strategic intent.
And according to the numbers presented today, the murder count edged down marginally from 92, that is, to 91. We note that in-house murder figure is at 95. The reporting of major crimes also dipped slightly by 1%. Meanwhile, in other news, in 2022, we reported on an hours-long raid at Pharmacy Express inside the 4th Street Tourism Village. Inspectors, accompanied by police, seized pharmaceutical products and ordered the closure of their operations. Owner of the Pharmacy Express, Julia Sabané, took the case to court, saying that this was done without notice or without the opportunity to be heard, and that the raid resulted in closure of businesses. Well, yesterday, the High Court dismissed the constitutional claim brought by Pharmacy Express, ruling that the businesses operated illegally for years without the required licenses and failed to provide any breach of their constitutional rights. The court found that although the Ministry of Health was slow in enforcing licensing requirements, the delay did not excuse the claimants' non-compliance with the law. The court rejected claims that the pharmacies did not require licenses because they operated within the 4th Street Tourism Village. The court did rule, though, that no constitutional rights were breached, dismissed the claim, that is, and filed on October 25th, 2024, and ordered the claimants to pay the cost of the Attorney General for senior counsel and one junior counsel. There was no word on whether they plan to appeal. Meanwhile, earlier this month, the Ministry of Immigration launched its biometric data sharing partnership with the U.S. Embassy with an aim to improve border security and migration management between Belize and the U.S. We asked Immigration Minister Musa about it today, and he further explained what this partnership entails.
As you would have heard, a week prior to that, we launched the BDSP, which is the Biometric Data Sharing Partnership with the United States government. Subsequent to that, we agreed with the United States government to form a vetted unit that will comprise not only police officers, but immigration officers, and they will be targeting specifically immigration offenses, so being in possession of fraudulent documents, that type of thing. And again, we can now utilize the BDSP to have very quick, reliable information getting back to us. And so similar to what you saw with the ANU, it used to be the drug ADU, but then it became the anti-narcotics unit, which is a vetted unit that is also in conjunction with the U.S. Embassy. We now have an immigration vetted team comprising immigration officers and police officers that will be working along with the U.S. Embassy.
And in other immigration news, last night we gave you some insight on the new border cards for Guatemalan students that have been implemented at the Benque Viejo border. The initiative is expected to expedite the crossing process for students, making movement more efficient. Well, today, the minister explained why they decided to implement the border cards in detail.
The border crossing card is a new concept. We recently introduced it first at the Guatemalan border, but as you know, it is only being utilized for the children who come across for school every single day. And let me make this very clear. They come across every single day acknowledging Belize is a separate country, and I think we have to accept that. This perhaps is one of those phenomenons that you look at and say, this is what Belize is all about, welcoming others to our country. They're not getting any residence, they're not getting any immigration status, but merely to go to school, and they have to pay their way in the institutions. And from the information that I have gathered, and again, this is something that has been taking place for decades, but perhaps something that we're now highlighting. They come to Belize primarily to learn the English language, because when they go back to, whether it's Flores, Petén, or if it's in Melchor, they use the English language in tourism, in commerce, in trade, and so it's a benefit to them to learn English. And they come and they sing our Belizean national anthem, and they form relationships with our Belizean children, and that's the kind of relationship that we want to encourage with Guatemala, not war, not fighting, the way that they have been aggressing us in the Sarsuna. And this is the kind of relationship, sisterly relationship we want to create with Guatemala. But in terms of the border crossing card, it is something that is now streamlined on our side of the border. I know that officials, our diplomats in Guatemala, the Belizean ambassador, is working on their side to have it accepted, the Belizean card accepted by the Guatemalan government. And so you might notice that only the Belizean children, only the children from Guatemala are using the border crossing card because it's accepted on our side, and on their side, they just accept the children back because they're Guatemalan. But in terms of the adults crossing, they still use the old fold-out border crossing document, which is stamped each time, and it takes a very lengthy period for them to actually go over.
And that's all we have for you on 7 News on this Thursday night. Thank you so much for watching. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi. You can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a good night and join Indira Craig back here tomorrow. Have a good night, folks.